Daily Double Podcast, back here on a beautiful summer night in June. Here to talk about some big races this weekend, which would be June 27th.
Right.
Stephen Foster and a few other big handicap races on the day. Where you want to start?
Well, you know what? I think first thing I want to say
Yep.
is that I checked the weather. There's an outside chance of showers all day, but not a high percentage. So I think it'll be warm. I don't think it'll affect the track too much. But I think we should start with the big race because it's the most intriguing one of all because we know these power players. I mean, other than Willie D on the rail, all the other players have a chance in this race.
Yep. Makes sense. Take me through it. Who do we got?
You know, look, you got Magnitude going to the lead.
Yep.
And look, if Magnitude, he won that race out in Dubai, it was like a $10 million race. I don't think his buyer was like over 102 or so.
Yep.
And he got to the lead. He still could get to the lead in this race because none of these horses really want the lead. So he's first of all, if the race was playing speed, I would be concerned about Magnitude on the front end.
And because it's the mile and an eighth as opposed to the mile and a quarter distance, I also feel like getting loose on the leads is scary at Churchill Downs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it could play in his favor if he's really not messed with at all.
But still, when I look at the long stretch at Churchill and I think of the quality horses chasing him, I kind of stop in my tracks. This isn't like in Dubai where the only horse he had to beat was Forever Young. These are the best horses. I think Baez is going to turn out to be a champion. We know what Sovereignty is. He's going to improve.
Yep.
And White Abario, the old timer, has proven great. You know what I mean? And so think of those four horses. You got three legitimate stalk closers with Magnitude on the front end. You know, and I think it was interesting.
Sovereignty
Very-
6 to 5 on the morning line.
I don't
Give me
like
your
that.
natural
I don't
reaction.
like
Yeah,
that. I don't like that because what we've seen is, and nephew Chris keeps bringing it up. These 3-year-olds, when they meet each other, they've taken each other out pretty easily. But when they've met the older horses, they've all seemed to falter a little bit. I mean, I could say Sovereignty. All right, he needed that race.
I definitely think he did.
No doubt he needed that race. But we've seen our good friend journalism running in races and sort of not get the job done against older horses and whatnot.
Yep.
And you know, get good buyers. So I don't know. Maybe White Abarrio on his best could compete with them. Maybe Baez could. How do we know how good Baez is this year? We don't know yet.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, how many times has he run this year? Let's see.
Once, I believe.
He ran one time, and that was the race we talked about before we came on the pod where he had the trouble trip.
Stuck in the gate.
Yeah, stuck in the gate. You're right. He only ran once. That was the Ali Sheba. That was May 1st. Churchill Downs, a mile and 1/16th. Corporate Power. He ends up running on to run third after a treble trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's his second race, too. I mean, think about him and Sovereignty. They're in a similar position.
Similar position. I mean, certainly from what we know last year, we would go Sovereignty because Sovereignty kicked his butt. But, you know, there was that one race where he hung with him a little bit. But we would think Sovereignty is the best. But guess what? Guess who trains Baez now? Billy Mott. It used to be somebody on the West Coast. Now Billy Mott trains both of these horses.
Interesting. You're right.
I mean, and what I'm a little bit afraid of Baez. I don't know. I want to see what he developed into. 6 to 5. I don't know. What do you think? 2 to 1.
Yeah, I'm playing him to win this weekend, but I kind of thought that I would be betting him to win and sort of making a bold call and, you know, maybe getting like that 2 to 1. 5 to 2, 9 to 5, somewhere in that threshold.
Yeah.
But to go 6 to 5 out of the gate, just losing to White Abarrio in his last start, I don't know. It maybe feels a little bit. I don't know if I agree with it.
I know what you're saying. I agree. I thought it was low. We can't be sure how this race is going to unfold. What if Magnitude does get that lead? Picture this other group behind him. I mean, who makes the move early? Are they good enough to run him down? I think they are. I really do. I really do think they are. Now, interesting point on White Abario.
Yep.
Read an article today. I didn't realize this. Do you realize that White Abarrio was scratched from the Breeders' Cup, the day of the Breeders' Cup, by the stewards?
Scratched what, at the starting gate?
By the vets. You know what they said? They didn't like something about his left leg motion. So Safi, I read the article today, Safi said he was aggravated. He said he has that in he's always had that. It's not a problem. So he's concerned that he says the Churchill stewards aren't as severe as the Breeders' Cup stewards, but he's a little bit concerned, but he's telling them this horse has a little hitch in his left front leg. It's not a problem. It never bothers him. So, the horse is on the track jogging, the horse goes, we're afraid the horse is going to break down,
Yeah.
But it was in the paper today. I didn't even know that. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It was peculiar.
It feels like I'd have to go back and see it myself, but like it kind of feels like a little bit of him being sour grapes. I don't know, because for a horse to be scratched just based off of how they're walking or moving a leg, it must be kind of drastic. You get what I'm saying? It couldn't just be a little limp.
Yeah, well, I think they qualified it as some kind of hitch. He's got like this little hitch or whatnot, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But hey, I understand what they're doing or whatnot. But hey, you didn't expect journalism and sovereignty to get in a speed duel like I did.
No.
The race set up for him. Let's be honest. Come on.
Yeah.
This is a good horse. No knocks to White Abarrio. Won the Breeders' Cup. Won the Pegasus.
Yeah.
But nonetheless,
ran over in Saudi.
Oh, this is a good horse.
Yeah, this is a good horse.
And I just wonder what Irad's going to do on this one. If we got Magnitude on the lead, does he go into the second position? He may have a little more tactical than Sovereignty and Baez.
Yep. Yep.
And Willie D, I don't know what he does.
I don't know much about Willie D either. I want to tell you one thing about White Abarrio.
What's that?
It scares me a little. He's been somewhat, if you ask the general public about White Abarrio, like for instance, if we talk to our cousins, I think they would consider him somewhat inconsistent, even though he's had big moments. He's also, put in a few clunkers. And he's been somewhat up and down. And I think that that's a fair thing to say.
Of course.
But this is an interesting piece. When he breaks his maiden, which was in 2021, he breaks his maiden and then wins an allowance race back-to-back. Then, after that, he doesn't win again until February 5th of 2022. He runs in the Holy Bull and wins, and then wins the Florida Derby back-to-back. Goes on another stretch where he doesn't win 2 in a row. He loses 9 out of the next 10 because they pushed him. That many. Then we go to the Whitney. He wins. Then he wins the Breeders' Cup Classic back-to-back. 2 races in a row. Then you skip ahead. He loses 5 out of the next 6. Then he comes back on January 25th in the Pegasus, wins that, and then wins the Ghost Zapper back-to-back. Now he's lost 5. He lost 5 in a row. Then he just wins the Oaklawn Handicap. Is this horse one of those horses? Is he one of those horses that sort of peaks for a chunk of time? And we're about this. I mean, that's crazy. Almost all of the wins on his record are back to back.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, that's intriguing. Look, there are form cycles.
Sure.
There's a form cycle with every horse. Every horse has his own form cycle.
Yeah.
And whatnot. But I think even within, we'd have to say, I'm not going to knock his victory at all because he took off down the lane.
Yeah, he ran well.
I mean, we've seen horses be in that position and just run evenly.
Sure, he didn't win by a length.
He did take off.
Yeah, he did.
And whatnot. So, I mean, I got to give him credit for what he did. Irad, as good as he is, being in the position. What's his odds?
As of right now, morning line. What do you think they are?
5-2 or 3-1.
Yep, 3-1.
Yeah, that's what I would say. And I would think it's the same thing. People think Sovereignty wasn't ready.
Sure.
Why would he go to the lead?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, horse never went to the lead in his life.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
So he's keyed up. He was keyed up.
Yes, 100%. And like this time, I feel like too that race had a little bit of like that imposter syndrome where it was like you didn't really know if anyone was going to be the definitive pace in the race. And this race kind of has that target. So magnitude, no matter what, he's going to be on the lead.
Right.
And then it's sort of that's their target. Now let me just run my sovereignty style, which is 5 off on the rail, parked, maybe a length, maybe 2, maybe in the 2 path at most, and then let me go. It's a mile and an eighth. I've been refreshed, and let me go. And now I think this is a better test of his true level after him getting like refreshed in that last race. So I'm anticipating a big race from Sovereignty.
I hope. You know what? I hope so. I hope that he runs. You know, hey, it's a mile and an eighth. You know, I hope he runs a great race. I'm not positive about the magnitude because I know when he won that race in Dubai, I'm pretty sure that day there was a speed bias and that horses that went to the lead did very well.
Okay.
I don't know if that's going to be the case on Saturday with a chance of showers, very hot and humid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It
true.
could be different because I've seen magnitude flop. But you know, hey, Steve's done a good job with him since he's gotten him. So, I mean, you win a $10 million race, but we can't let, because he won a $10 million race, sway us.
Sure. You don't know. Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Different day, different surface, different opponents. So,
But nonetheless, you know what? I think I was hoping there'd be a few more horses in the race. You know, I had heard that maybe Sierra Leone was going to be in the race, or a couple other horses
that would have been fun.
were going to be in the race or something like that. But you know,
It's still
what's
fun.
It down 5 horses, right?
7 horses. We got.
What do you got?
Have.
What do you
Well,
got?
from what I'm seeing here.
What do you got?
Oh, I lied. One of them. No, you're right. Both of these are listed as scratched.
What do we
No,
got?
you're right. It's 5. Willie D, White Abario, Sovereignty, Baez, Magnitude. Field of 5.
I think those horses in a small field like that, they're going to be forced to stay a little bit closer. I don't think that necessarily hurts them, though.
Yeah, true. It could just be like a cluster right out of the gate. I don't know what Willie D is going to do. He's a horse I feel like they could just send him.
I think Saez is on him. They'll try.
They'll send him. Maybe that puts Magnitude just off of him. You know, maybe that's how it goes if he doesn't want to burn him.
Or he'll be running second behind Magnitude. Because
true.
Even though Magnitude did rally one race last year, which I was
you can tell
surprised
that's
to
not
say.
his true.
No.
His
That's not
best
his
way to
style.
go. No, it's not.
And you got the great Jose Ortiz on him. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Jose will take his speed
and get the most of it.
he'll get the most of it.
So let's talk about the jockey. We just talked a little bit about the jockey standings. Who's leading the country right now in wins?
It's YedSit Hazelwood. I think he's
For people who don't know, what can you tell us about YedSit?
Well, he's from Panama, and Corrales, the trainer, saw him a couple years ago and thought this kid had some remarkable talent. Now, this trainer Corrales has got an eye for jockeys. He's moved a few jockeys up in the country.
Yep.
He saw this kid. He got this kid going. The kid has 176 winners.
Through 6 months.
Yeah, it's through 6 months. And the some of the experts think that this kid's got the future of an Irad Ortiz type of jockey. He sits on a horse real good, handles them well. He's very professional, good kid, good temperament. He's riding a lot of races, you know.
It says here, if you go online and look up Mr. Hazelwood, which also it's an unbelievable name. YedSit Hazelwood. He's a highly acclaimed 18-year-old Panamanian apprentice jockey who's taken the American horse racing circuit by storm. Known for his natural balance and poise in the saddle, he quickly became a dominant force in Maryland before preparing to join the Ellis Park Jockey Colony in Kentucky. 18 years old is pretty wild.
Yeah, right.
And you said he just lost his bug, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, just a few months ago. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Wesley Ward is enamored by him and is going to use him on horses down at Ellis. So he's not going to Ellis Park just like sight unseen.
Sure.
People kind of said, we're going to put you on some of our horses.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I wonder.
Gee, if he has 176 winners in half a year, if he duplicated that, Do you realize how many winners that would be?
Yeah.
That would be 352 winners in a year.
That's
would that be
crazy.
something for an
Yeah,
18-year-old kid?
that's crazy.
I don't think he'd be able to duplicate it, but barring injury,
Yeah.
maybe he could. Maybe he could. You know?
Can you think back to any other like jockeys who jumped on the scene like him, but then ultimately didn't materialize?
Oh, well, you know what? Some of them went in and out. That's a good question. I'll tell you what, the ones who excelled at this high a level usually did, be it Kent Ormo. One of my favorite stories of all time, and I think I read a book about his life, was Chris McCarron. Chris McCarron in Maryland one year, I think he wrote almost 400 winners, and it was unbelievable. But Chris McCarron wound up winning on Touch Gold and Ali Sheba. I mean, he was highly rated all his career.
Yeah.
He was a great jockey that he stayed with it. There's been a few, I'm sure that people thought were going to be good. You and I probably know a few that we thought were maybe could materialize, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Only a few rise to the top.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anybody that kind of jumps off the pages like
In your lifetime.
yeah, something I can kind of like think of a few feels like of like some Saratoga jockeys that I thought would have like excelled. You know who won for me a little bit is he kind of jumped on the scene like an Eric Cancel. I remember when he first came on the scene when he still had his bug and was riding the New York circuit. He was going crazy.
Yeah, he was winning a lot.
Yeah, and I kind of thought he would take that next step, and he's still I would say by and large he's a B+ level rider.
Yeah, I'd go maybe B. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
would you
like-
put him in the same like world as Manny Franco, or you think he's a little below?
No. Manny Franco is a great basketball player. Manny Franco, just the way he moves, he's got that ability like Carbooch does, and like some of the great ones do. It's like they're athletes on a horse. Their whole body gets into the flow. Can't tell you watch him ride. It's not like he's a bad rider or anything.
Yeah.
He's kind of steady, you know.
Yeah.
But you watch Manny. There's like the whole body's moving. You know.
Yeah. No, I think I'm with you. I would put Cancel maybe even a C+ level rider, but still does his thing, gets mounts, has winners. We root
That's
for him.
sure. We root for him. But he hasn't won that many races this year staying in New York.
Yeah.
Every once in a while he slips one in, but he hasn't.
Two riders that we used to follow down here in the South Jersey, Delaware range that I feel like were good enough in their prime to go and race at the big circuits, whether that's like a Churchill meet, a Keeneland meet, a Saratoga meet, and maybe not, win the meet, but have 10 to 15 winners. I really loved Victor Carrasco and Javier Toledo.
Oh, they're good riders.
They were so good, and I wonder what happens in a career like that if jockeys like that sort of go. They just don't get the opportunity. They're just like, hey, I kind of just live around here. I want to work around where I live, so I'm staying to these tracks. I wonder what like limits them, or if it's truly an ability thing where like people more qualified than me and you can look at them and say, hey, quality rider is going to do well at, in the circuit in Delaware Park, Monmouth Park, Pimlico, and that's where they'll do their damage. Outside of that, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you could say it's a hard one to pull out because we know Nicky Juarez. I mean, I say hello to Nicky when I see him.
He's a beast.
Nicky a few years back was second leading rider at Monmouth, at Gulfstream, and he really was at the top of his game, riding really great and whatnot. He still gets some really good mounts. He's down the Colonial Downs today, had a winner. I think he rode a Safi horse and whatnot, but I thought he would have had a career that would have stayed at that level. Whereas when we talk about Paco, how has Paco stayed at that level year in, year out? Or Joe Bravo when he was right. Joe Bravo, these guys like stayed at a certain level. I think the way the game is set up, it's hard for multiple guys to be like that.
Right. There's not enough seats at the table.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
And I think it's a lot of who you know and your connections. So if you make a solid connection with someone and ride a couple good races for them. And then you have that strong connection. Like, for instance, going back to somebody like Carrasco, who I felt like for my formative years, really like betting at Delaware Park, he was always involved.
Yeah.
I just wonder if maybe he just never had the opportunity to ride for a, fill in the blank.
You know what? I would think that's probably true, but I would think that within the balance of human nature and the balance of what's fair, that he might just be a slight notch below.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if you could get Pratt, Manny Franco, the Ortiz brothers, Johnny V, who else is a big? Tyler Gaffleone has risen high into the game. These guys must have something a little special.
So let me push back just a slight bit.
Wow.
I feel like Kendrick Carmouche is maybe even a good example of one of those guys who was one of those kind of, it felt like a jobber, you know what I mean?
Delaware and Philadelphia.
Yeah, and killing it. Exactly. And then it
fame.
just feels like he got an opportunity or two, or maybe made a connection, or maybe got a chance and went with it. And then this is his true, like his level, you know what I mean, showed with where he is now. I just wonder if like Carrasco would have been able to have an opportunity like that.
Here's a perfect example. You and I have been going to Florida for years. We know the colony inside out. Always had a respect for Jaramillo and Marcel Jaramillo. Always. Guy getting to the lead was great. Never was in the leading jockey range when it was prime time. Maybe would get 20 wins, 25 wins. It was always alive. He makes the decision after Umberto Rispoli gets hurt to go to California. In 2 months' time, he's leading the jockey standings like by 20 at Santa Anita. They were raving about him. And it was like, I'm thinking, well, I played him for years there. He never dominated. He's never a guy that would have had 3 or 4 winners. Now he goes to California, he's dominating. What's that? So it tells you that it's exactly what you're saying. Does the guy take the chance?
Yeah.
Does the guy go, let me just take my tack and move it somewhere else? Or was his style really good for California racing, speed tracks?
Sure. That aggressive, that early pressure.
That kind of thing. Maybe that played into it as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to think about. And that's why I really want to have more guests on when we get into the flow, because I think it'd be fun to kind of like peel back the curtain a little bit. Like Nick Juarez, for instance, I've talked to him about coming on the podcast, and he said, I'm in. So like it'd be cool to talk to Nick a little bit and ask him,
about his career.
And if he feels like maybe he didn't reach the level he wanted to, or maybe he feels like he's not there yet, or he's still, climbing, or life or whatever, I'd be curious.
Yeah, right.
Because,
did lifestyle set these guys back? Injuries set these guys back? Where is that thing? Well, even when Javier had that injury a few years ago, people thought, oh, Javier's getting older.
Yeah.
And then after he healed and then he started getting back to form, he won a lot of races the last 2 years.
Yeah.
He's not the dominant guy. He's won a lot of races, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of big races, too.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
And we talked a little bit last year about Lane Ludsey, who was there in Saratoga. It was like, it feels like Lane's one of those guys where, don't get me wrong, like I know New York's his home, so maybe he was going to end up at Saratoga riding a little no matter what. But he kind of felt like more of that guy that's like, fuck it, I'm going to take the chance at some point. I'm taking a chance.
Yeah, his father had ridden there. He grew up there. He knew was comfortable with it. But where is he now? I don't see his name anywhere. We have to research that.
We have to see. I don't know either. I
haven't seen his name in weeks.
Okay.
Maybe
months.
months.
We have to find it.
I hope he's okay. Yeah. Because you would think, I check all these racetracks. I haven't seen his name.
Okay.
I'd be curious to see. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, well, we'll check in on that too and make sure that he's doing good.
But like you're saying, there's only a certain amount. I remember when I was a kid and I used to look at the results every day, even when I was like in 3rd grade. Aqueduct would have the results, and all I would see was Johnny Rotz, Johnny Sellers, and they would have 3-4 winners every day. There's only 9 races.
Yeah, exactly. There's only so much.
These guys are dominated. Yeah, I'm going to use him. I'm going to use. Sometimes there's guys that dominate. That's what's going to happen with this Hazelwood guy. He
I'm
didn't
excited
win that
to
many
see.
races today. Only won 2, but he was he was on a lot of favorites all day today at Delaware.
That's a pretty good place to be, winning 2 races in a 9-card day and people being like, only 2?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a good place to be. All right, so let's check out a couple more races for this weekend.
I think
what else? What do you want to go to next?
The Fleur de Lis. I think we should check the Fleur de Lis because despite it being a small field for $500,000, I think it's 3-year-olds and up, or 4 and 5-year-old fillies and mares.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a match race between the 2 speed horses, Splendora and Shred de Nar. I know both of the horses. Splendora comes across to me as being a little bit classier. She's won in California. She's won in Churchill Downs. Shred de Nar hasn't probably been against as much company, but the horse is young and has performed well. Has won like 5 out of 6 races.
Okay.
So if these 2 horses got in a speed duel, that's the only thing that could change the race and set it up for somebody. Anybody can beat 2 horses to get in a speed duel.
Yeah, true. I wonder who would be that horse.
Well, from what I think, I mean, I will tell you this. Impressive. Is it impressive?
Immersive.
Immersive 2 years ago was it's a Cox horse. I thought this horse was going to turn into somebody really good.
Yeah.
She kind of always was nervous. I played her a couple times. I don't know if as she's gotten older, if she's putting it together. I think she's just been running fair. Do you have her races on?
I do.
How does she run the last few times?
So let's check this immersive out. Okay, so immersive, it looks like we want to check out 25 and 26, or just his most recent races.
The races in 26 especially.
Okay, so he ran in 2000. Sorry, she ran in September of 2025. Then after that, she came back in April, on April 4th, and ran in the distaff 7 furlongs at Aqueduct. Finished second, behind Grammy Girl.
Okay, that's not bad.
Came back on the 30th of May and ran in the Shawnee Stakes, mile and 1/16th, and came in second to Splendora.
Oh, does it say the distance? How far behind her she was?
It doesn't say here. No,
I saw the race. I think Splendora won pretty easy. I don't think it was close at the finish.
Yeah,
but nonetheless, I think Splendora just took over. What if Splendora can't take over from Shred de Nar, and they got to fight? That could change it a little.
Yeah, it could change it a little bit.
Maybe 3rd race back. Churchill sometimes that long stretch.
If the race played into her favor, I could see it getting interesting. I don't know if I want to say I could see her like pulling away from them, but maybe could run up on them and make it an interesting finish.
Right. And what was her record in 25?
In 25, Miss Immersive ran 3 times. Came in second twice in the Monomoy Girl in the Coaching Club American Oaks, and then won the 2025 Seneca Overnight, which is just a small stakes race at Churchill Downs.
Well, from what you've described, I hear 4 seconds and a win. So obviously this horse has got some talent, but we're not hearing a ton of wins.
But you want to hear something fun? In her lifetime, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 races, never run worse than second.
Is that right?
In her life.
Wow. Well, that's impressive.
That's impressive. I mean, she's consistent. I mean,
well, it just tells you that, look, if you would think, nothing against Shred de Nar, because Shred de Nar's a good filly. Yeah. I don't think she's met these kind. If those 2 get in a duel and Splendora pulls away, Immersive will run second.
I mean, they just ran 1-2. It kind of feels like this is one of those fun races where you bet a $30 straight exacta Splendora and Immersive, and then for $20 flip it in case something crazy happens, and I think you collect.
Yeah, you probably should. Because, I mean, Shred de Nar beat... who did Shred de Nar beat last time?
Let's look it up.
Because I didn't have her... I had her in my pick 5, but she just beat somebody that was decent but not great.
Okay, so Shred de Nar just beat Fully Subscribed on May 1st.
Oh, Fully Subscribed.
In the La Troyenne Grade 1.
Yeah, that was good. That's a good race.
Yeah, it is a good race.
That was a good race.
Yeah, that's a good race.
I mean, and and her early career was spotless until she lost at Gulfstream
to Claret Beret
and cost Mandu the pick six. If she won that day in Gulfstream, Mandu had the pick six.
Jeez Louise.
She was like 4-5. She had nothing. 0.
Yeah, it looks like here she ran in 6th. She finished 6th.
Oh, didn't do nothing. She had nothing.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel pretty good about that race. I feel like
Splendor is a classy.
Splendor is classy. Out of our by Audible, which I love. I love Audible. I feel like Tread the Gnar knows got to beat Splendora to win. So at some point she's gonna attack.
Got to test.
And then if she fails that test, then it feels like Immersive's the most likely horse to pick up and get second. So,
hey, Jake, who's riding Tread the Gnar?
Tread the Gnar is going to be ridden by Louis Saez.
Louis?
Yeah.
Maybe Louis tries to outgun Splendora.
That'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of fun.
That's possible. Because Louis got the outside. You know how hard he could ride.
You know Bobby Batt and Flavian Pratt when they're Bobby Baffy and Flavian Pratt. They don't mess around though when they need to be on the lead.
Not for this big stuff. And that's interesting. I think the next race we should look at is another $500,000 race.
Okay.
The Wise Dan. You and I played Wise Dan years ago with Johnny Velasquez. Remember Wise Dan? How many races they win in a row on the turf? At a mile.
Wise Dan was unbelievable, man. He was unbelievable.
It was like incredible.
You know what's so crazy? You have like those memories that just bring back moments in your life.
Exactly.
I remember one time sitting in class when I was at college at Rowan University, and I was looking so much forward to peak running of Point of Entry and maybe the start of the decline of Wise Dan, and they were going to be meeting in the Breeders' Cup. Ooh. And then one of them pulled out and didn't run, and the other one won. I think Wise Dan actually maybe didn't run, or maybe vice versa, but I remember like loving both of them so much and thinking like, damn, this is really the showdown of the century, but it didn't happen. No. And then we were sad. Okay, so we have the Wise Dan, grade 2, mile and 16th on the turf, going down at 5:31 p.m. And this is fun because we have a nice little field here. We have Silent Heart, Mike Maker, ridden by Luis Saez.
Okay.
Laginos, Steve Asmussen, ridden by Jose Ortiz, going to be tough. Mercante, trained by Brian Nippenberg, ridden by Flo Giroux. Chasing the Crown, Mike Maker, ridden by Flavian Pratt. Flying Mohawk, D. Whitworth Beckman, written by Gaff Leone. Dresden Row, and Anthony, how do you pronounce his last name? Sciametta?
Yes, Sciametta.
Sciametta, ridden by Irad Ortiz. Fort Washington, Shug McGahee, ridden
like
by
Fort
Junior.
Washington here.
I do too. 5-1 morning line. Finishing out the field with 2 more, Brilliant Birdie, Cherie DeVoe, and Brian Hernandez, and Beach Gold, Patrick Biancone, ridden by Keith Asmussen. Glad to see he's back up and riding because he had an accident here where he was not in the saddle. Okay, so
he's doing okay.
Glad he's doing good. Looks like he's back up and running. I don't know here. I mean, I like Laganos. Who do you like?
Here's the problem I have with this race.
Yep.
I've had Laganos like $50 to win the last 2 times he ran, and I got better prices than I thought I was going to get.
Yeah.
Never wins by a lot.
Yeah.
Won by half, quarter, a neck. This horse has won 4 in a row, as game as can be. But when you see a horse win by a neck, the next time out you think, oh, this horse got to lose.
Yeah.
And it keeps winning. Now we got Jose. He's going to get a well-timed ride. I'm not seeing a ton of speed
Cantheros.
in
I
the race.
love Cantheros.
If there was a little bit more speed in the race,
you'd feel better.
I would like to give Fort Washington a little better chance.
Okay.
Because Fort Washington we don't want a slow pace for Fort Washington. He's a very honest horse, but he needs a fast pace to make his run. So my instinct would be those 2 are the best horses.
Yeah.
I mean, Brilliant Birdie used to be good a couple of years ago, but I don't think she's mounted a charge here. She moves, Sherry's horse.
Yeah.
That hasn't done much in the last few races that I've seen her. And I don't know who else. What about Dresden Row? I don't know much about. What does it say about Dresden Row?
Interesting. Dresden Row, I'm going to pull it up here. It does say that the last race that he ran, he finished first in an allowance optional claiming race at Churchill Downs. But 7-2 morning line, which is interesting. So maybe what they're seeing here is Dresden Rowe wins in November of last year, 1.125 miles, the Grade 3 Autumn Stakes. Then he comes back and runs on the turf at Keeneland in an allowance race, wins, and then, like I talked about before, Churchill Downs allowance optional claiming race and wins. So he's sort of maybe just in a really nice form cycle.
Moving up.
Moving up. So just has some momentum, I would say.
But in a way, doesn't it tell you, for that horse to be 7-2, it tells me that there isn't that a ton of form in this race.
It's true.
And if you think about it, the Wise Dan $500,000. Where's our pal Chad Brown in this race? Anything?
Yeah.
I don't see no Chad Browns.
No, not at all.
It's a $500,000 race. So what's going on here? I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know.
In other words, I mean, Laganos is a good horse, but where are the other good turf horses? Is it because Saratoga's getting ready to open with all these great races? What's going on? You know?
It's a good question. I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, I feel like Chad sends for things like this, races like this, but I also know that he's not as active in the Churchill Downs, stuff.
He was on Derby Day.
That's true.
He had a bunch of
That's
horses
true.
Derby Day. I don't know. So ultimately, I gotta go. I think right now, if I was to play me, I'll probably play me at pick 5. It's like, Laganos has done everything right. Why fight him? You know?
Yeah.
And he shows that at the end of the race. I like the way Jose uses his speed. Jose seems to have a little something left in the tank.
Yeah.
And when the horses come up to him, he just kind of wins by that neck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and he does what he has to do.
You know?
No, it's true. It's true.
But I don't know. If there's a sleeper in that race, I don't know. When I've played Beach Gold, I don't think he fits. Now we got the Dresden horse moving up, Fort Washington closing. I don't know. I'm not finding too much else. So I think that's what that race is. The other race that's interesting, if you can pull it up, is Cornucopia's running. See which race Cornucopia is running at. And because Cornucopia, we saw him win on Derby Day, and won pretty easy at 6.5 furlongs. He's in a race that's 275,000. It's one of the 7 stakes races.
Yeah, the Bango Stakes.
What's a Bango? A Bango? Wait a minute.
The Bango Stakes.
What's the horse named Wait a minute. Is Bango? Do you remember Bango?
No.
I'm pretty sure Bango might be the horse that won like 5 or 6 times at Churchill. He loved Churchill, and he just kept on winning.
That's fun.
And they named the race after this horse. And he was a dirt horse.
Okay.
But he finally lost. I played him. I remember I was rooting for him and watching it on TV. He had won like 5, 6 races, and they're going, Bango's running. Everybody was excited. And he flopped on the final one. I think they retired him after that. But they thought enough of him to name a race after him. What's the distance?
That's fun.
7?
The distance is 6.5 furlongs on the dirt. Probably Bango's favorite distance.
Yeah, probably. What's the morning line on Cornucopia?
You know what? They don't have it listed here for this race.
I'll tell you what. I think I read of this horse is probably a 4 to 5 shot.
Okay.
He beat
Into Mischief, Bob Baffert, Flavian Pratt.
Yeah.
That's about as good of a connection.
They thought this horse was going to be great.
Yeah,
and
true.
then he flopped somewhere, I think at Oaklawn, but he's got him back on the beam.
What do you mean by that? Back on the beam?
Back on the beam, it's like just kind of.
Oh, back on the beam.
Yeah, back on the beam. He's ready.
So where did he flop? He flopped in the 2026 Churchill Downs Stakes. It looks like a 7 furlong race. That's one you're referencing?
Yeah, who won that race?
T.O. Elvis, Disruptor, Crazy Mason.
That was the one we saw when we were watching the Derby.
Yeah. That's right.
But then he won after that.
Yes, he did. He came back to win 6 furlongs in the Aristides? Yeah, Aristides.
Yeah, Aristides.
It came back to beat Gold Sweep and Roll On Big Joe. That was 6 furlongs, though. Today's 6.5. He has run 6.5 once in an allowance optional claiming race and won over at Santa Anita on the West Coast.
Well, is he running against? Read some of the names he's running against. Let's see if there's any of these names hit us.
Yeah, I think you'll know one. for sure. So U Devil U,
Okay.
Cornucopian, Harrodsburg, Gold Sweep, Extra Anejo,
Oh, we played that one.
Dr. Venkman, we know
Okay,
him,
right?
and Built.
Yeah, well, those are reasonable horses. I mean, I've seen Built run at fairgrounds. Built's a decent horse, but I don't think he's in the class with Cornucopia.
I don't think so either.
I think his horse is going to be 3 to 5.
Yeah,
You know,
probably.
Bobby Baffert with
Probably.
the sprinter. Any other names jumping off at you there?
No.
They look like they're going to run big.
No, they give the horses an overall like rating, like on a 1 through 10 scale. It looks like, and Dr. Venkman is listed the highest otherwise by Ghost Zapper here, which is a Mark Glatt and a Rosario combination. So let's see,
Mark
6-year-old
Okay.
ran in August of 25 and then September of 25, which was a two grade twos, one at 7, one at 6. Wins the first, comes in second in the second one of those. Then ran again and finished third in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, which was 6 furlongs in November, and hasn't run since.
Hasn't run since then?
Right. So what you're dealing with is a horse with quality that has proved to be, formidable at this distance, but
he's got to run fresh against Cornucopia, who rounding into his third race back.
Not ideal.
It's not.
It's not ideal.
It's not. I gotta go Cornu.
Yeah, I'm going Cornucopian as well. That's the Bango Stakes. I mean, what a fun weekend of races at Churchill Downs.
$4.1 million worth of purses.
Yeah.
And let's face it, I mean, the big race, the Stephen Foster, we've played the Stephen Foster before. Usually he'll get 2 good horses running in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is
we've
4.
got 4 good ones.
Yeah, this is
We've
fun.
got 4 good ones, I mean, I'm not sure. I think Sovereignty could run, from what I've seen,
Yeah.
I think Sovereignty could run great, and someone else could run great too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
It's like I think I would bet against him, but I don't think that.
Do you think if he runs his best race that anyone can beat him?
Well, you know what? I think you and I said last year he ran like a 202 Derby.
Yep.
And then he ran like a 202 Travers, I believe. But no, wait a minute. He did maybe improve in the Travers.
Belmont, maybe?
Maybe the Belmont was 202. And the Travers, I think he improved it some. If you get him on top of his game, I'd like to see him run a nice flat 2 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think 202, it's like I think the other horses in the race can run that.
Yeah, true.
And
True.
look, right now, it's like a juggle. These horses are all coming into it off of a layoff or off of one race. Baez of the bad break, Magnitude, front running break and whatnot. But I thought that was interesting. It's an interesting batch. Hey, how about that information I was telling you about nitrogen? I thought that was interesting. I wanted to get your take on that.
Let's hear it.
Because here's I just got done reading the Ruffian book, okay?
Yeah.
And you know what happened with Ruffian. Ruffian set track records. He was trained by the great Frank Whiteley. He lived in a time where this horse became like an idol.
Yeah.
They thought this horse was unbelievable. And they had the match race when the horse ran against Foolish Pleasure, who 3 days before the race worked out in 56-2. And after about 5 or 6 furlongs, she snapped a leg. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the ultimate, here's my take. Nitrogen I love. You know I love Nitrogen. Nitrogen probably ran the best race at Saratoga of anybody over the 5-day period. Highest buyer, 117, highest buyer of any horse, I think, of the year.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
So she did go to the lead and clear early.
Yeah.
They want to put her in the Whitney. Now, a lot of the horses that you and I are talking about could be running in the Whitney.
True.
Do I want to pit her against Magnitude, Baez, Sovereignty, and these kind of horses, a horse of this caliber, and make her fight against these kind of horses. I'm a little bit against it, maybe because I just finished a Ruffian book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, the owner and Marquez are pretty much like, we think she deserves it. She loves Saratoga. This is the Whitney going a mile and an eighth. So, what do you think? What do you think?
Oh, man, I think I'm with you.
I mean, where's the glory? Where's the glory? I want to give this horse a break.
I think it's time. Usually I'm...
Just enjoy enjoy her
the fruits.
Great runs.
Yeah.
You're going to put her in a race where Magnitude might be probably faster than her early, and you got these other great horses, great colts, are going to be trying to run her down. All right, she didn't beat much. We know she didn't beat much.
Yeah.
We've seen horses run big races when the competition is weak.
Yeah.
She's got to run against the best colts in the country.
Yeah.
I don't like it for her. I don't like it for the horse.
I'm with you.
You know?
I'm with you. And I feel like at some point, if you keep making decisions, like it's okay, I think, once in a while to make the decision that's like kind of selfish. But if you keep making a pattern out of doing that, that's when we're going to start to mess things up. I feel like then you really start to take on way too much risk versus the reward. So I don't know.
I mean, you know, and look, Rachel Alexandra, I was there. I saw her run twice. She didn't look like a mare. She was like
She was
big.
Massive.
She was like an unbelievable horse. Because let's face it, remember she won the Preakness. She beat Mine That Bird in the Preakness.
Yeah.
She was a different kind of species and whatnot. I'm not saying, but I don't know if Nitrogen has beaten anybody of that kind of caliber. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I see it all the time. Horses run these big numbers because they run away from horses.
100%. Nothing is going to enhance a buyer's speed figure more than a lead by yourself where it just becomes like a workout where no one's testing you. Yeah. I'm serious. Like you get the perfect trip, you get nothing in your face, you face no adversity, and you bolt, and you just go.
Well, you know what? Look, I'm not a trainer, obviously, but I remember when Rags to Riches beat Curlin in the Belmont, because we were Curlin fans, you and I.
Yeah.
But Pletcher took the chance and put her against Curlin. It was an unbelievable race. Rags to Riches wind up winning the race.
Yep.
Guess what? Rags to Riches never ran again after that
Didn't
race.
Do nothing. Nothing.
Didn't even run.
Yeah, you're right.
Couldn't even run her.
Yeah.
And so ultimately,
So what did it take out of her?
You make some history, but you create some bad history too.
You do. Speaking of Mr. Pletcher, have you heard about? I have some current events here. Todd Pletcher's suspension.
For what?
Hall of Fame trainer Todd Pletcher was blocked by the New York State Gaming Commission from appealing a 10-day suspension and $1,000 fine stemming from a 2002 meloxicam positive test, including the horse. Involving the horse Forte. Have you heard about this?
We know Forte now. 2002.
Yeah.
It's like I might have done something to you in 2002. Are you going to take it out on me? You know what I mean? Give me a break. How could you be punishing somebody for something from 2002? Yeah,
it looks like it says here, the Rapoli stable tweeted out on June 18th, said the New York State Gaming Commission is everything that is wrong with horse racing regulation. In my opinion, they are incompetent, inflexible, arrogant, and completely disconnected from the people and horses they are supposed to serve.
Who said that, Rapoli?
Rapoli.
Did he probably gave the horse a bottle of Snapple.
Yeah.
I think that was it. Was that the company he owned? He probably
Vitamin Water. I think Vitamin Water.
Oh my God. But you know what? I mean, geez, why do we torture each other? Why don't we accept each other's mistakes once in a while?
I know. We're all just human at the end of the day.
Oh my gosh. It's like, and you know what we do? We wind up, that's like what they did to Paco.
Oh no,
such a good man.
Paco is, he is a good guy. He just made a bad call.
I hope he doesn't. No, I shouldn't say it. On air.
Yeah, not on air. But yeah, so We have some. There's really, really good stakes racing this week at Churchill Downs. We're getting close to the start of the Saratoga season, so we're going to have to get our D-boys on the podcast soon to do our jockey/trainer fantasy draft. Maybe we try and do that, like, what's day one? The 20th?
We're going to do the original meet, the 40-day meet.
40-day meet.
We're not doing anything. They're having something around July 4th.
Yeah, no.
We're not doing that.
Not that.
I think it starts a little bit later this year because Labor Day is September 7th. So I think we'll be doing that probably around. Maybe wait for Chris and Dew to come down here.
That'd be fun.
You know, when they come down, because I think they may be open around the 19th of July.
Okay.
Or something like that. And those guys will be in town.
Yeah.
And we could do it right from home.
That would be fun.
And Jeff will be there too.
Yeah, I'd like to get Jeff involved. I think Jeff would be sweet to have as our fifth person.
We could have fun doing it around the table at Ocean City. Or do it around the table here.
Yeah, do a dinner night here and have everyone come one night and do it. That would be fun. So we have that coming up. If everything goes well here, I'm going to try and line up another guest like we had last year, which was pretty much like during the Saratoga meet, but I think when we got Katie on, sometime in August, I believe.
Yeah.
Sounds about right?
Yeah.
I think so. Oh, yeah, it was right before we went to Saratoga.
Oh, it was right before.
Because remember,
right before,
because we brought the shirts for her.
Oh, that's right.
You know?
You're right.
Yeah, so we'll try and line somebody else up,
see
who's available and what we can do. But yeah, we this is the best time of racing for the year, in my opinion.
That's good. I did see, just out of a point of note.
Talk to me.
Golden Tempo will be running in the Jim Dandy and in the Travers Sherry DeVoe set. That's the plan right now. So he won that Belmont, proved that he could run at Saratoga.
Yeah.
So he's going to be going for that double.
Yep.
Also, somebody else, guess who? Your horse, Commandment, will be running in the same two races.
Good.
You know how close he was to him. They fought him down the lane.
Yeah, Commandment ran so well.
Commandment showed up he showed up that day. He showed that he was, to me, showed that he was a better horse than Chief Wallaby, number one.
Yeah.
They kept on making a big point of Chief Wallaby.
Yeah.
He proved that the races that he won in Florida were no fluke.
Right.
You know,
completely.
They made a big deal that all these different jockeys were riding them. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a rarity. Don't get me wrong, but he was a fighter.
Oh, that's fun.
He was a fighter in that race.
He fought. He ran hard, man, and I was really proud of that horse in that effort because in the Kentucky Derby, I feel like a lot of horses get to use that troubled trip like excuse-ish.
Yeah.
But I feel like only a few of them get to justify that trouble trip excuse based off how they run their next few. And he really can now stamp that. Like, the Derby, he had to work, you know what I mean? And now you're going to give him opportunity over the summer to run with space in competitive settings in races that'll have 10 or fewer horses, more than likely. Commandment's going to win one of those two races, mark my words.
You know what? And he'll definitely compete. He proved that he's a consistent horse.
Yes.
He's a consistent horse. There's no doubt.
Yes.
And whatnot. I did see Puma coming back.
Good. I like
Guess
the Puma.
Where Puma's running?
Hopefully back at Tampa Bay Downs.
No. The Haskell at Monmouth.
Oh, that's a good spot for Pumi.
Yeah, Pumi will be stalking at the Haskell. I think it's July. I think it's the weekend of our reunion, July 18th or 19th.
Okay.
Something like that. He looked good. He looked good in the picture I saw.
Good.
So I hope
I hope
that. He's okay. He
I like
didn't have
that.
a major injury, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
And whatnot, but
for the Pumi,
all is good. I think that's pretty much all the interesting stuff I took in and whatnot. But
let's go. Let's try and get back together next week to recap some of these because we're hitting a good groove now.
Yeah,
summer's in full swing. Time is freed up. We're in a great groove. I think we got to keep consistent.
Yeah, we keep going. We keep going and let's see what happens. I think the Saratoga meet's gonna make for a lot of good discussions.
Yes, me too. And then we'll see how everything plays out with our trip, and Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this year's Saratoga. We're definitely going once. We might be trying to go a second time as well. We'll be there in August at least once. Are you going back twice again this year?
Yeah, I'd like to go back and catch like a combination the last week in August, the first week in September. That would be my goal,
Okay.
or whatnot. So I think that fits pretty good.
Yeah, that
you
sounds
know?
good. That sounds good. I didn't want you to be at the Ocean City soccer game anyway because
What's
you'd be
the
torn.
date of that?
That's somewhere in that chunk of time. Because you'd be torn, you know what I mean? Who to root for?
Oh no, I root for you. I root for you. I root for you. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's somewhere in the end of. It's either the last day of August or it's the first couple days of
Oh,
September.
that's the season starts then.
That's our season opener.
Wozy McFrozy.
Yeah, we actually start our season very tough, and then we level into more competitive games. Like our first 3 games are really, really hard.
Well, you know what? Hey, keep the morale up.
Yep, exactly. Like anything else.
And get the girls fit.
Definitely. We're going to be flying around out there, just like your horses. You want them fit. You don't want them off the layoff.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you know what I mean? Sports are, fall in line in that way. But listen, Daily Double Podcast.
Right on.
Back in your life this summer.
to be
Really
with you.
excited. Great to be with you. And we'll see you soon. Good luck this
Take
weekend.
care. Stay well, guys.